particularly in infrastructure and renewable energy. A recent agreement actually included a feasibility study for the Cairo Metro led by a Spanish company which is called TIPSA. Additionally, Spanish firms are exploring hydrogen energy projects in Egypt, but investment incentives for Spanish business should include or are based on free trade agreements providing preferential access to European, African, and Arab markets. Tax incentives are also very key, and customs exemptions in industrial zones, government-backed financing for key projects, and streamlined regulations under Egypt's investment laws. What is also very important from the European / Spanish interest is that we need to enhance our financial systems in Egypt via strengthening the financial institutions. I mean here the banking rules and regulations, which need to be adjusted a lot in order to be able to attract European / worldly investments, because we still have a long way to go, especially in strengthening the legal aspects of the banking system in Egypt.
Well, taking from your words, how do you see, if you're going to describe the reform, the economic reform program here in Egypt, can we say that, yes, it created a favorable environment for Spain for more investments?
Yeah, this is exactly the point I was trying to highlight when I said that the rules and regulations in order to attract foreign investments, although we already have a very solid base, but we still need to work on our rules and regulations, I mean the judicial part, in order to establish more confidence from a Western / European perspective in the Egyptian economy. Because Egypt's economic reform programs, they focus on fiscal stability, foreign investment facilitation, and privatization of state-owned enterprises. These reforms create a more predictable and attractive business environment for Spanish companies and other European companies. But as I said, we still need to work on our legal aspects of our banking system, because this is where the business environment, especially the European environment, needs to see in Egypt well established in order to boost their investment in Egypt.
So do we expect any new ventures or projects, brand new projects, to take place in the near future between both countries?
Yes, I would say that several new joint projects are being discussed, including partnerships in hydrogen energy, in digital transformation, and water desalination. Spain's commitment to supporting its business in Egypt ensures continued economic collaboration. But let me add here, since I know the Spanish environment, business environment in general, what is very important for our government now is to realize that Spain has 3 different regional or ethnic regions. So you can speak of the south, which is based, where the center is Madrid, and then you have the east, north, which is Catalonia, and this is where the strong industrial base is focused, and then the north, which is the Basque area. So it is very important, in order to strengthen our business investment relations, to focus on what we want. So if we really want investment and industries and technologies, we should focus on direct relationship with Catalonia, where the capital is Barcelona, not Madrid, for example. But if we want to focus more on tourism, then we should go to the southwest which is basically Madrid and Sevilla. So this is very important for our state to realize that when we negotiate with Spain, it has to be done on regional Spanish basis.
So we can say that dealing with Spain, we have a diversification of different sectors when it comes to investments, right?
Exactly, yes.
And also, when we talk about this and talk about new projects to take place in the near future, this also is opening the way for more job opportunities, more skills here, expertise in Egypt, especially for the new generation as well. How far can this help?
Yeah, that's very important, because if we are going to speak on sectoral basis of cooperation between the two countries, let me just give you a few examples. Example of the renewable energy and sustainability. The renewable energy is a growing focus in Egypt-Spanish relations, and Spain's expertise in solar and wind energy aligns with Egypt's Vision 2030 sustainability goals, with joint projects in green hydrogen and energy efficiency in the works. And let me tell you here that Spain is among the most developed countries when it comes to renewable/solar energy. So that's just a quick. Another example, of course, is tourism cooperation plans, because both countries are exploring ways to enhance tourism, with discussions on increasing Spanish tourist visits to Egypt and promoting joint cultural heritage projects. And let me tell you that when it comes to tourism, especially with Spain, it goes both ways, because the idea is how to attract, of course, Spanish tourists to come and visit Egypt. But let's not forget that also Spain is one of the top targets for outgoing tourism from Egypt to European countries. So Spain comes maybe second after France in terms of the attraction for Egyptian tourists when they go abroad. So in this respect, there is a lot to do between the two countries to boost the tourism cooperation plans. And we can also, if you want, we can also give another very important example, which is the technology sector and the digital transformation. And of course, in this technology and digital transformation, there could be a lot of collaboration between the two countries, especially that Egypt is, we are already positioning ourselves at the moment as a regional technology hub, and Spanish companies are keen to invest in digital services, IT infrastructure, and smart city initiatives. So the collaboration between the Egyptian, Spanish Joint Business Council, and Spanish technology firms is expected to grow, especially that if we in Egypt succeed in establishing ourselves as an IT hub, Spain and other European countries are going to take advantage of this hub in order to strengthen their relationships not only with Egypt but with Africa in general and the Middle East through Egypt. So this is where our location plays a key role in enhancing our economic growth and development.
Right, as we always describe Egypt to be the gate to Africa when it comes to trade in general. And definitely when we talk about trade and economy and different kinds of investments, now we are talking also about exchanging expertise and the know-how of different items as well, and opening the way for more different items for education as well, because as you mentioned, we are talking about more projects to be opened here in Egypt, more Spanish ventures, and also again I always focus on the new generation. And even now we can see a lot of people in Egypt, especially the young ones, they are more interested in learning the Spanish language.
Yes, of course. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I would like, since you're speaking about education, Yeah, of course, we can see that there is a wave of Egyptian youth that go now and receive their education in Spain. I would say that the majority of them, they go to universities that teach in English, not in Spanish. But it is still an opportunity for them.
As a second language, yes, there are some who are interested, or they are taking the Spanish second language.
Of course, yeah, they still learn the Spanish language, but most of them go to English-speaking universities based in Spain, which is still fine. But since you mentioned education, I should also emphasize another very important aspect, which is the health aspect, because the health and insurance, I mean public insurance, is one of the most developed in Spain. I mean vis-a-vis the world. I mean even if you want to compare the public insurance in Spain to a country like America, which is so much developed, the Spanish public insurance when it comes to health is very much developed, and this is where Egypt can take also a great advantage to enhance our health sector as well, because as you know, this is one of the most important sectors for the Egyptian economy.
Well, signing such memos of understanding and looking for more new ventures to take place when it comes to the Spanish investments here in Egypt, what kind of message it can be to the whole world?
The message is, again, what is very important, not only for Spain, but the whole world, is how to strengthen the confidence and the trust in the economy. Because one of the basic lessons in economics is that capital is coward. So, and this is something that you cannot break. So the main idea to attract what we call FDI, foreign direct investment, to any country, not only to Egypt, is to establish and strengthen the confidence in the economy, in the domestic economy. Confidence and trust. This is the name of the game. And it always starts with establishing confidence and trust with the domestic investors first, the Egyptians. And then when you establish this trust, the foreign investors will no doubt follow. As I said, we already have taken very positive and very good steps in these directions, but what is important now is to enhance the financial segment, the financial sectors, to strengthen the trust of the investors, domestic, then foreign, in our banking system. And this is where we need to still do some extra work, especially when it comes to the legal and the judicial part of our banking system.
When we talk about Egypt, actually, we are talking about huge potentialities, and when it comes to consumption in particular, that Egypt has always been described as one of the best markets for any country who would like to invest or put new products in the market. How far is this true?
Can you repeat this question, please?
Well, I'm talking about the potentialities here in Egypt in terms of trade, because usually when we describe Egypt, we say it is the best market when it comes to consumption and a huge market for different sectors.
Yes, let's remember that Egypt is one of actually, I think Egypt is #1 when it comes to population in Africa. Maybe Nigeria, but I think Egypt is #1 with 105 million inhabitants. So that in itself is a very strong market for any investor. When I say investor, I mean multinational companies, huge companies, multinational worldly companies. So this is a very attractive market for any investor, especially that also our population is young, actually very young. If you compare the age brackets in Egypt to any country in Europe, our population is much younger. So that's another target for multinational firms in general. And in this respect also, Spain, again, let me go back to the fact that Spain is one of the most moderate European countries when it comes to, here I'm touching a little bit on the political side of the relationship. So to enhance our bilateral relation with a country like Spain, this will no doubt represent an opportunity for other Western, European or other Western countries to follow the steps of Spain. So yes, Egypt represents a great opportunity, but again, consumption depends on what we're speaking about, because I will not be very happy if we are identified as a consumption country only. What is more important for me from an economic standpoint is that our country will be classified as an investment, saving, then consumption country. But as we have to admit that up till now consumption parameters are very high in Egypt. And that's why the idea, I am not against consumption, but I would relate consumption to reducing imports and increasing exports. Then in this case, consumption could be a good aspect. And let me here also emphasize something quickly, that there is a consumption-oriented growth model in economics, and there is another growth model, which is the savings-oriented growth model. If you want to just take a quick idea, America, for example, is a consumption-oriented growth economy, while China and Japan are considered savings-oriented growth models. And people think that they are opposing. No, they are not opposing. The idea is that you can still be a good consumption-oriented growth country, but it has to be emphasized on export, not on import.
Well, President El-Sisi, since the beginning, has always been keen on diversifying our relations with different countries. So, talking about our relation with Spain and talking about the economic level, usually after such official visits, we expect after such visits more to be taken, or measures to be taken, or I'm talking about private sector. I mean the homework of the investments or the local here in Egypt. So what do you expect in the future?
What I expect in the future, first of all, we have to speak about focusing more on the role of the Egyptian private sector in promoting the economic relations with a country like Spain. So, because again, in a country, the Spanish investors, they would be more interested in dealing with the private sector in Egypt. So that's very important that we put in the front our domestic private sector. That's number one. Number two is the point that I emphasized earlier in our discussion today, which is very important to realize that when I say Spain, it does not mean Madrid. Spain means, again, Madrid, which is what they call it there, the south or Castellano area, and then that's one area which is very important, where the palace is, the politics is, the king is, the government is, but where is the industry? Where is the highest per capita income in Spain? It is not in the south. It is in Catalonia, which is the east-north. And this is not Madrid. This is Barcelona. The industrial capital of Spain is Barcelona, not Madrid. So this is a point to be realized. And then you also have the north, which is the north, which is the Basque area. So it's important to realize that when we speak about Spain, we're speaking about different ethnic and regional parts, and each part requires its own concentration. So that's another very important point to realize as well.
Right, Dr. Amr Hamed, Professor of Economics, thank you very much for joining us. And moving on to a quick break, then we will be back.
Sir Magdi Yaqub and a new discovery.
Sir Magdi Yaqub and a new hope in cardiac surgery.
Sir Magdi Yaqub develops new heart valves.
The new valves by Magdi Yaqub are the talk of the world. Hearts beating anew with the discovery of the King of Hearts, Magdi Yaqub.
The world of cardiac surgery witnesses a new discovery by Magdi Yaqub.
كلثوم مش ممكن ابدا حد يكرهها.
بقالي ليلتين ما نمتش. عزف
ولا واجد؟
الاثنين. استاذه صبجي ممكن تكون معانا؟
عارف يا قصب، اللي يستاهل فعلا جائزة الدولة التقديرية هو انت.
يا سيدي